Yo, have you heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, NXT TakeOver Wrestlemania Weekend Edition. Today, we have a very special episode. We're going to be talking about NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And since this is the big WrestleMania weekend, not only do we have our wrestling expert, Jacob Mason, with us, we have our El Capitan, Byron Mitchell. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic, buddy.
Doing great. Running off 4 hours of sleep in a Red Bull, so let's get this.
That's what I like to hear. So the way we're going to be doing this today is we're going to have our episode about NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, and then we're also going to have a separate episode previewing WrestleMania 37. So this one will be about NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, which is starting April 7th and April 8th. That's this week coming up, the first NXT TakeOver event that is 2 nights, I believe, especially on live TV. You can watch it on the USA Network and simulcast on Peacock. And before we start going over the matches, Jacob, do you like it being 2 nights NXT, especially in the middle of the week?
Yeah, I am okay with NXT being 2 nights. One, because this is the biggest takeover that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have so many matches. Give them, spread it out over 2 days. Give all the wrestlers the time they need to deliver the best matches they can, and it's NXT, so I fully expect nothing but the best.
Byron, how do you like it in 2 days in the middle of the week? You liking that?
I do like it, but I also am a big Arrowverse fan, so on Tuesdays I have to not watch Arrowverse to watch TakeOver, which I'm perfectly okay with because they always put on an amazing TakeOver, so I don't expect this one to be any different than the previous TakeOvers.
The only thing that really concerns me, considering it's going to be 2 nights in the middle of the week, and we're used to getting these just pay-per-view network status for the most part, how many commercials are they going to have?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm wondering too, especially since it's simulcast on the Peacock network. So this would be interesting to see how they do it.
Yeah, that's a good thing about the commercials on you. I didn't even think about that, but we'll have to wait and see. But all right, man, let's just hop right into it. We got night 1. We have 5 matches scheduled as of today of recording, and we're just going to go through each one, give our predictions, what we want to see in the match, and then go from there. So night 1, they have one of the first matches is a match of who's the best technical wrestler in the world right now. We got Pete Dunne versus Kushida. I know, Byron, you are a huge Pete Dunne fan. So what are you expecting out of this Pete Dunne-Kushida match as just a regular singles match? Who do you think is going to take that one and why?
Yes, I'm a huge Pete Dunne fan. He impressed me. The first time he impressed me was that UK title match between him and Tyler Bates when they tore the roof off. Great match. So I've been a big fan of him since then. And Kushida, he's earned my respect since that takeover match with Johnny Gargano. So they both are great technical wrestlers. And I know it seems like they're trying to push both Pete Dunne and Kushida, but I think Kushida needs this win more than Pete Dunne does. So I'm going to go with Kushida.
Okay. Jacob, what do you think about this match?
I'm basically in the same boat as Byron. I Pete Dunne's great, but Pete Dunne does not need the win for this. Kushida needs a win for this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be this. This might be the most. This is like the dark horse match, I think, of night one for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be good though. I mean, there's no doubt it's going to be good. But as much as I want to see Pete Dunne win, it should be Kushida.
Yeah, I think Kushida. I agree with both of you. I think he needs this win a lot more. Pete Dunne's been in the main event spotlight, obviously, at historic reign as UK champ, and then obviously the stuff with against the Undisputed Era with Pat McAfee and them. So he's been in the main event spotlight. Kushida is very talented, and just like you said, Byron, that Johnny Gargano match put him in the spotlight for like the casual fans are like, oh, this guy's really good. He might need a push, and I think if he gets this win, then we could start talking about him maybe having a rematch for that North American title along the road, or be a potential NXT champion contender. Next match we're gonna hit on. We have a triple threat tag team match for the vacant NXT tag team championship. We got MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans versus who the hell? Legado. Oh, now I know. I was like seeing that out loud. But all right. Jacob brought up this point about how come MSK, since they won the Dusty Road Classic, just didn't get the vacant belts like Raquel and Dakota Kai did. But
that's a good point.
Guess they wanted to have a takeover match, and I just feel with that, I feel like MSK has to win this. Jacob, what do you think?
Yes, MSK has to win this. It makes nothing else makes sense than having MSK win this. I mean, I know it's like the easy prediction or whatnot, and it's the easy booking, but why wouldn't you have MSK win this? No one else needs this. I think like looking at this, it's a 3-way tag team match. And what I have written down here is they have some massive shoes to fill, considering you have the masterpieces that DIY, Authors of Pain, The Revival, American Alpha. All these other teams have had these crazy 3-ways at TakeOver. So I'm just hoping it delivers. No pun intended there.
Byron, what do you think, man?
I agree with both of you. I think MSK needs this win because they were the Dusty Rhodes tag team winners. And they're on fire in the tag team division. So I don't think you put this on anyone else, because Grizzled Young Veterans don't need a win because they've been NXT UK tag team champions. And I think Legado del Fantasma, I feel like one of them is taking the pin. So I think MSK is going to win.
Fair enough. All in agreement there. This one, I don't know if we'll be all in agreement because there's multiple people. 6-man gauntlet elimination match to determine the number one contender for the NXT North American Championship on night 2. So we got Leon Ruff, Isaiah Swerve, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and LA Knight. Byron, I'm going to start with you. Who are you liking in this 6-man elimination gauntlet match to take on Gargano in night 2?
All right, so this is going to be a weird pick. I'm going to pick Cameron Grimes because I read somewhere, and I believe it was Ringside News, that said Cameron Grimes was about to get a major push. So this could be the match that gives him that push. Now, I feel it might be either LA Knight or Cameron Grimes, but I'm going to go with Cameron Grimes.
Okay. Jacob, what do you think?
Oh, Dexter Lumis, 100%.
Okay.
Absolutely Dexter Lumis. I don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Cameron Grimes because to the moon, he's the man. LA Knight, I don't see that happening considering he lost his first match to Bronson Reed, which
True.
When you have like your first match, I mean, if you don't win it, that's normally not a good sign, but it's NXT, so we'll see. Leon Ruff, I don't think anyone has him having a chance winning that, but it's Leon Ruff, so who knows? Don't get me wrong, if Isaiah Swerve Scott would win, I'd be down because him and Johnny can absolutely tear the roof off the place. So But I'll go with my boy Dexter. I mean, the build-up storyline is Dexter in my book.
Yeah, so storyline wise, because Dexter has literally been abducting people from Gargano's camp, that would make the most sense because they'd be afraid of him.
Right.
And Johnny could be that coward type heel. Byron's thing makes sense too. If Cameron's going to get a push, you might as well do it on the biggest takeover ever and have him compete. I don't know, man. I guess I'm going to go LA Knight just to be a little different, just because from NXT's past, when they build up these people, like when they're showing promos of them coming, like the signature NXT TakeOver thing, like the next big thing is in the stands watching and they're about to get signed. And even though he's already lost, which was terrible, I feel like LA Knight to be the next big thing in NXT, because we don't know. All these other people seem pretty established and most people don't know LA Knight. So you might as well have him get this big win and then probably do the favors to Johnny or win. But I feel like he needs to win this. He got to be the last person in this gauntlet by last Wednesday. So I think he needs to win, but I don't think he will. But I could see Dexter winning. I could see Cameron winning. I could see the bottom half winning, but I don't see the top half winning.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, this match came to me, it was like out of left field, but hey, I'm here for it. Walter versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT United Kingdom Championship. Jacob, this was your guy. This is your guy. 2018, I think he was the best heel on planet Earth before the neck injury. That's not even up for debate or question. He's saying that he found the black heart again from 2018. He's going against Walter, who's been absolutely dominating. What do you think about this match, and who do you have winning this one?
So this match I'm super excited for. This is probably my biggest match from night one, probably. But yeah, I'm so excited for this match. Like, it's gonna be so good. There's no way in hell Tommaso Ciampa's winning. Absolutely no way. That being said, it's going to be a phenomenal match. Like, just the Walter chops are going to be a flying.
Byron, what do you think about this match? Walter's a big man. That's a heavy hitter over there. What are you thinking about this?
I'd like both of these wrestlers. Like I said, Walter's hard. So is Tommaso Ciampa. He was the best heel of 2018. That match against Johnny Gargano, that first match in 2018, absolutely fire. But like Jacob said, I don't see Tommaso Ciampa winning this. I feel like it's Walter because I don't see them putting the title on someone that's not on the NXT UK roster. So I think it's Walter.
I agree. I'm thinking Walter too. Unless he's really going to be making them trips to the UK that we don't know about. Like, unless that's been in the cards, but I just doesn't make any sense. I do think this is going to be a big time match. And I think Walter is going to get a very nice win over the Blackheart. The main event of night one, the champ, Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez. Singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. Byron, is this the match where Io finally goes down and Raquel finally becomes champion?
Yes, I think they have been pushing Raquel Gonzalez super hard. She's pinned Io at War Games, pinned Rhea Ripley. She won the first ever women's Dusty Rose tournament, and she was the first ever women's NXT Tag Team Champion with Dakota Kai. So I feel like this one is a good old Io Shirai send-off match where she goes into the Raw or SmackDown. So I feel like Raquel Gonzalez wins this.
Okay. Jacob, what do you think?
All right, so I think this is Io's send-off match, like Byron said. Because I got Raquel going over. And I feel like the booking for this, I know they're trying to build up Raquel. I really feel like NXT has booked themselves into a corner here where Io kind of has Amanda Nunes vibes, where she's beaten everybody in the division or whatnot, pretty much. I mean, it's stupid that a champion would challenge a challenger. Yeah. I think that's just very, very poor booking. You're the champion. You don't chase people. People chase you. I mean, plus, let's say hypothetically, Io does go over. Where do you go with this? There's Kaya Valkyrie, or Frankie, whatever her name is. They're bringing her up or whatever they're calling her. There's her, but there's no one else. There's no one else in NXT where you can really keep pushing Io. And like I said, I've said this on past podcasts, I really think Io should have lost at Halloween Havoc. Even if it wouldn't have been Candice LeRae, it could have been anyone else at that time. They just booked themselves into a corner where Candice was one of the last people to face Io and had the chance to win, but didn't. So I really like the way they've done Io, but at the same time, they just haven't made it great. I just feel like they've screwed up on booking wise. But I got Raquel going over because there's also there's built-in storylines after she wins. Because you can have her run through a gauntlet of whoever people, have a feud of whatever, she can hold the title for months, but at the end, Dakota Kai is going to turn on Raquel. You have that in your back pocket. That's instant money. People will tune into that. So yeah, it's got to be Raquel, and if not, what the hell do you do with Io?
Yeah, this one, I have to really think about this one because I do feel like it is Raquel's time. And typically, if it's her send-off match, she would probably get one more rematch, and then Raquel would beat her, then she would go, and then Io would be there by like a SummerSlam, or maybe she's at the Raw after WrestleMania. But it's one of those things, too, where that if Io does beat Raquel, then where do they go from here? Like you said, Jacob, unless Raquel is about to beat Io and Dakota screws it up, then you could already do that, and then Io could still be that, and then she's like, the only reason I lost is because Dakota screwed it up, all of that jazz. But I've always felt, and from a personal thing, like you just said, Jacob, it's kind of baffling that Candice LeRae has not held this damn title, like, at all. If I remember correctly, she's never held the NXT Women's Championship. And she's been there. And I think that's wild. And I really felt like this would have been the biggest pay-per-view to give one of their long-standing NXT women finally the championship she deserves. But she'll be on night 2. But I feel like that's been crazy that Candice has never held this title for as long as she's been in here. And I don't see Candice down the road beating like a Raquel, too big and strong. So I am also going to take Raquel, but that means all three of us took Raquel, which Raquel's not going
to. That's the way it goes.
And it's the main event. That's the thing. It's like the main event. So I feel like they're going to crown a new champ, and Raquel could be that next dominating women's champ because the past couple NXT women champs have been super dominating. Rhea was dominating, or we know what happened to her. Shayna Baszler was dominating. Io's been dominating. And Raquel fits the mold, and she can be that. I wasn't going to pick her until I saw that match with her and Dakota versus Nia and Shayna. When she was going against those two, I was like, okay, she could be champ. But that's the main event, and I don't know, man. We're going to see how Dakota Kai messes this up. But we'll see. Any other things about night 1 before we go right to night 2?
I got nothing.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
I think Walter and Tommaso Ciampa might steal the show, but we'll see.
Okay.
It's got to be them or Pete Dunne and Kushida. I mean, either way. They kind of have like some weird build-ups to it but they're just going to be good. That's all. I have no fear with NXT. It's just great shit.
All right. We'll go right into night 2 since we were just talking about Candice. It's going to be away. Candice and Indy Hartwell versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart for the NXT Tag Team Women's Championship. Me personally, since Ember and Shotzi just got it, I don't want to play hot potato with these tag titles. So I kind of want them to go over and win that. Byron, what do you think?
That was exactly my reason. I think Ember and Moon and Shotzi should win this because I don't like the way they play hot potato with titles sometimes. Like if the Way wins this, which they could, I just feels like it's going to be like that SmackDown title when they did the brand split where like 6 different people became champion with like a period of like 3 or 4 months. And I don't want that for the women's NXT tag titles. They already did it with Dakota Kai and Raquel because Raquel's getting a push. So I think they need a long reigning NXT women's champion. NXT women's tag team champion. I feel like it should be Ember and Shotzi.
Jacob?
So it's a pick-em to me. I feel like it's a 50-50. I'm going with Candice and Indy Hartwell. I'm going with The Way. And I'm merely picking them because I'm just a massive Candice fan. That's the only reason I'm going with this. But in a way, I hope they don't win. Because like you guys said, these titles, if The Way wins, that title switched hands 3 times in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Or just slightly over a month, which is stupid. Because it's the 24/7 tag team championship at that point. And you cannot have all these titles because when NXT started, you had 1 title. Then you got the men's and the women's title. And it was great. You just had 2 titles. And they added titles. And they keep adding titles. They keep adding titles. I wish they would stop. I wish they'd just take titles away at this point. Because you're putting in too many champions, too many titles, and it's watering down the product, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still having good matches, but those titles are meaning less and less. It was so stupid, in my opinion, to have Raquel and Dakota Kai win them in the first place because they lost them same night. What the hell? I don't get me wrong. As much as I like Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, I'm big fans of them. That was dumb. That was so dumb. If you're building up Raquel to be the baddest woman on the planet to take on Io Shirai, why can't you have her be tag championship or have the tag championship and go for that NXT women's championship and then just have it one night? First night Raquel's going to fight for the women's championship, and the second night you're going to face for the tag team championships. If you're that badass of a woman or person, period, like you're good to go. You can do it. That's just the way I look at it.
Okay, so you're going The Way on this one, and then we're going.
Oh yeah, we're going The Way because Team Candice over here.
Okay,
Team Candice.
Well, let's go to her husband then, Johnny Gargano versus the Gauntlet Eliminator winner. Byron, you had Cameron Grimes, I had LA Knight, and Jacob had Lumis. So we'll do first Johnny versus Cameron. Byron, who do you think would win that?
Again, I'm going to pick Cameron Grimes because this goes back to him maybe getting a push. So if you're going to push him, TakeOver would be the time to do it. But then if Cameron wins, I don't know what Johnny does. Maybe battle for the tag titles because I know he doesn't want to go to Raw or SmackDown because he's verbally come out and said that. So I don't know. This is kind of one of those toss-ups for me, but I'm going to go with Cameron Grimes.
All right. If it's Cameron Grimes, Jacob, who do you have, Cameron or Johnny?
I don't know. Either one I'd be happy with because Cameron Grimes to the moon. I'm all about it. But because Cameron Grimes has been hands down one of the most entertaining people of NXT.
Yes.
In recent memory. Just easily. But I'm also a mark for Johnny Gargano, so I'll take either one. I'd just be happy to be there. Just watch it.
I think it's Johnny versus Cameron. Just because there's no like storyline built in at that point, I just don't know if Cameron would win. I could see him having a really good match and then demanding a rematch and then getting him, but I just don't see it at this point. So Jacob, we'll stick with you. Back to you then. because you had Dexter, Johnny versus Dexter. Who would you have?
Oh, Dexter Lumis. I want Dexter Lumis to go over. Him and Cameron Grimes, literally since they had that weird ass cinematic match at the one takeover months ago, both those guys are just so entertaining. So I would go Dexter Lumis. Plus, he's had this built-in storyline where he's just abducting people left and right, and it's hilarious.
Byron, if it's Dexter versus Johnny, who are you going with?
Dexter Lumis, because he's been kidnapping people from the way. And just as Dexter Lumis entertains me as well. Just this big, strong, silent wrestler. Like, it's just interesting to see what he would do if he was the North American champion. So I'd be down if he won.
Yeah, I think storyline-wise, Dexter would make the most sense out of all of our things. And I'm remiss to say, since this is NXT, we have to call Johnny by his NXT name. Remember, he is Johnny Takeover.
Johnny Takeover.
He's not Johnny Gargano. He is Johnny Takeover. And when it comes to takeovers, he is like the Shawn Michaels of WrestleMania. This guy goes freaking in.
Yes, he does.
And then my one was LA Knight, just to give him a massive push. But if he's going against Johnny Takeover, first match, I don't see him. I would take Johnny over LA Knight. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I would take Johnny Takeover over LA Knight.
Team Johnny Takeover all day.
Next one, hit on this. Jordan Devlin versus Santos Escobar. Both are NXT Cruiserweight champs. One's the interim, that is Santos. And this is kind of like boxing or UFC, where you have an interim like lightweight champ, and then the real champ comes, and now you got to unify them both. And this is going to be in a ladder match to determine the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight champ. Now, I think out of ones people aren't expecting, I think this has the potential to steal both nights, just because I feel like it's flying a little bit under the radar. These two can go. Byron, what are you thinking about Jordan versus Santos?
This is one where I have no idea who to pick. I don't know. I want to go Jordan Devlin because he is the NXT Cruiserweight champion. He hasn't really been able to wrestle because of COVID and all those things. And that match where he won the championship was a excellent fatal 4-way match for the title, and he impressed me then. So I'm going to go Jordan Devlin.
Jacob?
So first of all, I think the build up to this match has been great. I think Jordan Devlin, hey, you're not the real champion, I'm the real champion. Storyline, I think it's been great. So I'm kind of torn here because I like Jordan Devlin as just a technical wrestler, or just as a wrestler, period. I cannot stand his discount knockoff Finn Balor persona. I absolutely cannot stand it. It drives me up all every time I see him. I'm like, oh, it's discount Finn Balor. Cool. I am not a fan of Jordan Devlin. I would rather see Santos Escobar win, but I think Jordan Devlin's taking the W on this one. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is really a toss-up. This is 50-50 to me. The only reason I would pick Jordan is, like Byron said, this man has not been able to defend his belt because he was stuck overseas because of COVID. So I feel like they're just going to finally be like, hey, you finally were able to come and work in the U.S. We're going to give you a big win. That's WWE thinking. But I think and it's a ladder match. So we also have to think about Santos as cronies. But I think Jordan's going to take that. So we all pick Jordan? Is that how it works?
Yep.
Okay. Santos is going to win. Okay. All right. The co-main events. Both these main events have been talked about for months by Jacob on the L7C podcast. He has been predicting both of these. The first one is Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly unsanctioned match. Jacob, who needs to win and who's gonna win? I know that sounds like the same question, but we all know that is not the same question.
Facts.
All right. So who needs the win? I am so torn on this one because you have. I think this is Adam Cole's swan. I think this is going to be his swan song. I think we're going to see Adam go up to main roster after this. So I don't know. Do we want to give him that massive push out of here into the main roster? Or do we give it to Kyle O'Reilly, who has absolutely worked his ass off and had some of the best matches of 2020? I don't know. I literally don't know how you do this. If you do this old school booking style, you have Kyle O'Reilly who needs this and should win the match. Because I don't see him going to main roster anytime soon. I see him staying on NXT, which is perfectly fine. Please stay. Don't leave. I don't know. I'm going with Kyle O'Reilly is going to go over on this. And good God, this should be amazing. The question is, do we get the other, well, minus Bobby Fish because #always injured. Do we get those guys somehow involved in this match? Because it's an unsanctioned match, so anything can happen. Do we see Roderick Strong show up? Do we see, like I said, always injured Bobby Fish do something? Highly doubt it, but who the hell knows?
I would say on your one point, though, because we've complained about this, that we shouldn't be thinking, since they're on live TV, we shouldn't be thinking about Raw and SmackDown as the main roster. Remember, NXT is part of the main roster too now. I mean, that's what they built it as. Have they shown it? No, but the current NXT champ has shown it, but we'll go to him later. Byron, Cole, O'Reilly, who do you pick? Who needs to win and who's gonna win?
Kyle O'Reilly needs to win because Adam Cole has pretty much done everything in NXT, so he doesn't need any more wins. So I feel like Kyle O'Reilly needs this win. I feel like he should win. But it's Adam Cole. You can never count Adam Cole out. He's Adam Cole, baby. So I love Adam Cole. He's one of my favorite NXT wrestlers. And Kyle O'Reilly has been showing me things in 2020. He's had some hard-hitting matches against Finn Balor. So this one's definitely going to be hard-hitting too. So I'm going to, like Jacob said, Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly needs to win this match. That's without question. However, Adam Cole's going to win this match. I'm going to go different on this. The reason being, I see this being a trilogy. Like when I saw the unsanctioned match, it made me think of, if you remember back at SummerSlam 2002, the Triple H Shawn Michaels stuff. Mm-hmm. And they had their long-standing like rivalry, things like that. I feel like this is going to be a thing of 3 takeovers. One gets a win, the other gets a win, and then they settle it. And then whoever loses that then goes to the main roster. And Adam, if Finn Balor didn't exist, Adam Cole would definitely be in the top 2 conversation of greatest NXT male people ever. Mm-hmm. If Finn Balor did not exist. I'll just never forget that year when he was champ. He won all those awards and he was holding them like this. The Undisputed Era had all the time. Like the guy, he's phenomenal, but I just don't see Kyle winning the first match. If this is going to be more than a one-off. If it's a one-off, then Kyle's going to win. But if they're going to get more out of this, I really feel like Adam's going to win. I really do. And like you said, Jacob, we don't know how the other 2 members are going to affect this, but I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to go different. I'm going to go Adam.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't factor the trilogy thing in there. I feel like this would have been a one-off match, but they could pull this out to a trilogy. They could very well do it.
You can do unsanctioned. You can go unsanctioned, Hell in a Cell, I quit.
Yeah.
Or loser leaves NXT.
Yeah, loser leaves NXT. Yep. Because they could pull the I can't stand you. I can't work here because of you. You always get in the way. One of us has to go. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
You heard it here first on the L7C podcast. But the other match that Jacob has been predicting for months. The NXT GOAT, Finn Balor, versus Karrion Kross with the beautiful Miss Scarlett. This is for the NXT Championship singles match. No BS gimmicks, nothing. 1-on-1. Karrion never lost the title match. He had to leave because the man literally got hurt the day after he won the stupid thing. Almost like exactly Finn Balor when he won the Universal title. Byron, who are you taking in the main event of night 2 and the main event of the whole pay-per-view?
I gotta go with Finn Balor because it's just Finn Balor. The business. What's the quote he said? I don't watch the business watches me, which is the hardest quote ever. So
Finn Balor's promos. Oh, sweet God, help!
Yes, he has delivered some excellent promos in his second run in NXT. They have all been fire. I'm gonna say Finn Balor. And maybe we could get a trilogy out of this. Finn Balor takes the first one, maybe the second one, and Karrion Kross finally gets that third win. But I'm going with Finn Balor first.
Jacob, this is one that I believe, 6 months ago, you already said this is going to be like 2 or 3 matches. Go ahead, man.
All right, so we're just going to refresh on everything I've said for months now. So Karrion Kross is going over.
Okay.
100%. It sucked when he got injured, but in a way, this is almost like a blessing because it has built up to this moment where, I'm sorry, Karrion Kross just looks like an absolute scary man that you do not want to mess with. That man looks like an absolute champion. That is the quote unquote Francis Ngannou of the NXT division. That man, I mean, is absolutely petrifying. Put some respect on his name.
Well,
but, no, this won't be a trilogy, but this is going to be a trilogy where, well, it's going to be minimum 2 matches, minimum, probably a trilogy, but you have built-in storylines with Karrion going over. You got your refresh set of who could possibly challenge, who poses the biggest threat, blah 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 blah. But we get the absolute dream match of Karrion Kross versus the Demon Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. Because, and I quote here, "You beat me, but you never beat the Demon, and the entire world will mark out because we're getting the Demon back." That's my prediction. It's got to be Karrion Kross. I will be pissed if Finn wins. Actually,
what if? I don't know if this would be his one. What if Karrion goes to Raw or SmackDown after though? I would hope they don't do that.
Please don't. Please stay in NXT
because he has everything Vince wants. A big guy, and you got a beautiful girl. I mean, that's Raw right there.
Yep.
But this match, I mean, this is going to end the night, end the pay-per-view. Finn Balor, he's the greatest NXT champion of all time, greatest NXT competitor, especially after the second run. All the quotes, the matches. Karrion coming in the challenger, never lost. It is so hard to pick against Finn Balor, especially NXT Finn Balor. Because my thing is that, Jacob, your thing happens, no way in hell is Karrion Kross beating the Demon Finn Balor. No way. 0. Because the Demon is what they wish the Fiend was. If they would have done it like that, the Fiend would be untouchable, and we know the Fiend is not untouchable. And I just don't. And if Finn loses multiple times to him, I don't see him going back to Raw or SmackDown unless he's right number 1 contender. But this match, so I picked Raquel, I picked Adam. I'm trying to think of what's Karrion Kross's finishing move.
The one where you punch you in the back of the head, right?
Oh hell no! Finn Balor ain't losing to that.
Well, and there was another one. There's a one he did against Keith Lee to win the championship, but I do not remember what that was.
So this is the classic title he never lost. Oh man, this is WWE freaking booking. Do they want to piss people off? I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out on a limb. They're gonna piss people off. This is gonna end in a no contest.
Ooh. Oh.
Huh.
So that they could drag it up. So they could drag it out. They're gonna piss them. One match is gonna piss people off. Why not let it be the last match?
Oh God! Please don't. For the love of God, please don't. You have longevity with this feud.
You do.
And you nailed it on the head, actually. Like, Karrion Kross is exactly what Vince McMahon looks for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Big, strong dude, hot manager with him.
He's exactly what he looks for, too.
Yep.
Yeah. So, that's fine. Bring him up later. You have solid booking at minimum until SummerSlam.
Yep.
Just with one person, let alone, oh, hey, I need a quote-unquote filler match. Oh, shit. Let's throw the winner of Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in this thing. Let's throw Johnny Gargano. Let's throw in Dexter Lumis.
Wait, just to go back on my no contest thing, because there's actually record of this recently. You guys remember when Adam and Finn were for the title, and they ended basically in a no contest, and they had to finish it like the next week? Think about this. NXT's first Tuesday is the week after this. What better way to start NXT on Tuesday than a rematch of the main event of TakeOver? Stand your ground.
Son of a bitch. That makes so much sense, and I hate it.
Yep.
Because that's how you start Tuesday, with a bang. A rematch right from there.
Oh, God damn it. That literally makes like the most beautiful WWE booking sense I've ever heard on this entire podcast. Shit. I will come on this show and I will be cussing up a storm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll still watch. That's the thing. It will make me tune in and I will be like, oh man, this is a great match. But damn it, I have to wait another week. Son of a bitch. Oh,
I just thought about it because
happen.
Because Tuesday, they have to start Tuesday off with a bang. Because think about it too. When NXT first went live, what was the biggest bang? Adam Cole came out. Finn Balor came out of freaking nowhere. Set the world ablaze. What better way, unless they have someone coming from Raw and SmackDown to that Tuesday? What better way to start Tuesday than? Well, don't worry. I have some names after we go to.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So Byron's going Finn. Jacob's going Cross. I'm going to be the punk who says no contest. They main event on Tuesday.
That makes so much sense.
I know, and I hate it.
But guys, that's a takeover. Any closing remarks before we sign off and then talk WrestleMania?
I hope you're wrong.
Me too.
I'm like dreading NXT now because of you, by the way. So congratulations. I'm just, God, that makes so much sense. I can't get over how much sense that makes. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Thanks, Martin.
Hey, we got to throw it all out there. We got to be responsible in wrestling experts and throw out all possibilities. We've all watched it. We know the patterns. That is some Vince McMahon shenanigans.
Gotta love Vince McMahon shenanigans. But Vince McMahon technically doesn't run NXT. I mean, he does, but Triple H is in charge, so would Triple H give pushback?
Yes, but it wouldn't matter.
They would, but I just see that Tuesday. The Tuesday has to be a big main event. It's the first Tuesday. What bigger main event could they have? It's not like they're going to have Finn Balor versus John Cena. So,
well, you never you never know.
We got to promote Suicide Squad 2 here. So
that very well
happen.
Well, yeah, but I guess closing with this one, again, thank you guys for listening to our NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver preview. We're definitely going to be back with the recap Now, hopefully I'm wrong, but we'll wait and see. And make sure you check out our WrestleMania preview, which will be coming out around the same time as this one. So, yeah. And Jacob, I think this is also the first podcast you've been on since we hit 1,000 views, listens.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you all again for that. And now we're on the road to 2K. It's kind of crazy that random people all over the world have been listening to us, but we really try hard to deliver honest, good content and not the BS that you see from other people. But yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for always listening.
And with that being said, thank you guys for listening to the L7C podcast. Let's pray that I'm wrong about Finn and Karrion Kross.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.